Hey everybody, hope we're all doing well today. I have noticed that like attendance is way down today. I'm assuming people are just really busy. So, oh well. I guess there's a reason we typically skip Monday. But yeah, everyone's doing good regardless. Just thought we'd start the week off with a simple talkie stream, honestly. I honestly didn't feel like playing a whole lot. So we're just gonna be taking it easy today. I mean, either that or stream what? Either that or Twitch just hasn't given out an announcement yet, despite the fact that I gave out an announcement on the Discord. And you know, some people only get the announcements via like mobile text or something like that, and sometimes Twitch just doesn't do that. So earlier today, Ed misclicked and sequence broke Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not surprised. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. I'm gonna go ahead and change up the music real quick. One moment. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game, but particularly in later parts of it, I found that it's like not really easy, but you can accidentally sequence break some things like without even really meaning to. Well, that's the definition of the term accident, Seth. Well done. English is your first language, and you barely speak it, at least correctly. But yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game, but particularly in its later stages, I don't know. Some parts just get sequence broken by complete accident. Alanine is a Warframe and you're the operator. I guess. Al's more their own character, though. I just, like, puppet them around for YouTubing purposes. And, Dotad, thank you for the 42-month resub, 18 months in a row. Do appreciate it. NPCs had dialogue from Act 3. Okay, that's just fucking bizarre. I've never heard about that happening before. And Harbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Seth, how you doing? Looking for floor mats to place my shoes on. I've decided to get a long one with some printed on it, or something printed on it. Got any ideas that would look good in a long floor mat? Just one really long stretched letter A. There you go. Yeah, otherwise I've got nothing really going on today. No real plans or ideas. And judging by the fact that barely, like, it's a Monday, people are probably at work or at school, and unfortunately summer is coming to an end. Well, I say unfortunately. For many people it's fortunately, because this summer has been fucking brutal. But yeah, times are changing and all that stuff, so not that surprised, but all the more reason to just take it easy today and do nothing particularly intensive. Regardless, it is good to see you all again. Hope you all had a good weekend. Not a whole lot happened on my end. Just kind of been getting work done, existing, and that's about it. It's been a kind of a white noise couple of weeks in terms of like my personal life. Not in a bad way, just kind of like not a whole lot interesting has been happening. So I work, I take it easy, hang out with my friends on the weekends, and then that's about all I've been doing. Haven't gotten Armored Core 6 yet, mainly because, I mean, you know, while I may be fine financially, $60 is still $60, and that's not cheap, so we'll see. We'll see if I get my hands on that. And besides, I'm trying to like get a lid on my spending. I've noticed that I have several bad habits that I've yet to break. It's funny. I'll be hesitant to buy a $60 game, but I'll happily spend $100 on fucking TF2 items because my priorities are in order, as they always are. Dealing with Canadians, Fire's smoke was fun. Yeah, I heard about all that. That ain't good. That ain't good at all. But yeah. you spent it on the fanciest hats. This is true. Or at least I spent it on trying to get the fanciest hats. You're not always guaranteed to. But on the plus side, I do have some cool looking loadouts. So I can't complain. On Alan Wake or Remedy Universe, no strong opinions. Haven't really played either. So, yeah. Oh god. Man, I'm kind of like quickly figuring out why I just typically skip Monday. Because like I'm tired, it is a low energy day, but I am supposed to be streaming 5 days a week, so I need to actually start doing that as opposed to doing 4 and sometimes 3. I need to actually start sticking to the full schedule, for fuck's sake. Seeing you play My Summer Car was great. Oh god, that fucking broke my brain in like several different pieces. I'll probably go back to that one just to try and make some sense of it. The most we managed to do was figure out how to get a moped working, crash it, and then take it driving across the countryside and crash it a lot more while blasting was it Initial D? I think it's Initial D. Yeah, while blasting Initial D from the speakers. Also the Wind Waker theme, yeah. And Harba, thank you for the 100 bits. Gonna have to bounce in the middle of D&D. Have a fun chat, you all. Not a problem, Harbo. You have a good one. We will see you tomorrow, most likely. Not sure what we'll be doing, but I'll figure some stuff out. As I've said, I wanted to start like doing goofier and weirder games on stream just because those tend to be the most fun to stream. Like My Summer Car was ridiculous, and it is a game, and that's about the most I can say about it. It is a game that functions mostly, but I couldn't make hide nor hair of it, so I need to study. I feel like I need to study it a bit before going back to that one. But games like My Summer Car, I was also thinking about doing The Long Drive because that one just looks stupid. And yeah, just kind of wanted to start doing goofier things.
Much obliged, partner.
And Vanilla, hey, welcome back, and thank you for the 52-month resub, 49 months in a row. Seth got fired from my job 2 weeks ago, got a temp job, and already starting a new job tomorrow. Well, sorry about that, and congratulations. Hope the new job is going well. Is going well and will go well. How have you been? I've been okay. Like, in terms of, like, overall, I'm doing fantastic. Like, the channel is doing great. Streams have been going well. They've been fun. Personally, my brain has just been, like, in white noise mode. So, I'm doing okay overall. Or rather, I'm personally doing okay. But overall, things are going pretty well. Can't complain in the slightest. What I think I need to start doing is figuring out more things to do outside of work time than just wait for the weekend to do stuff with friends. I got into practicing drawing a bit. I always fucking do this. I get into like learning something new for like 2.5 weeks, then I'll just fucking stop. But I do want to learn to draw eventually, so I'm gonna be getting back on that and keep practicing little by little. For anybody who was looking to start learning to draw, by the way, I'd recommend the book Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. I know a lot of artist friends, and several of them have said that is a very strong starting point. Like that just breaks past that saves the advanced techniques for later and focuses on getting you into the right mindset for drawing and creative work in general, and practicing slipping into that mindset. Because and this is quite reading it has actually been quite interesting. I've always like kind of known in the back of my mind that yeah, the left side of the brain is the logic and informational and shape process, or no, is like logic and information side, and the right side is more introspection and creativity. But the book goes into greater detail about why those two being separate and why one being louder than the other has led to most people not really being able to know how to draw in the first place and quickly giving up. The gist of it is most people don't basically stop improving art-wise when they're kids, because when you're very young, you don't give a shit what you're drawing. You're just drawing for the fun of it, right? It looks like it could be a fucking squiggle, and to you it's a whirlpool, or it's the night sky. It doesn't matter how good it is, because you're just having fun doing it, and it looks like something to you. As you become an older kid, you start trying to the left side of your brain starts getting louder, which is the logic and which is obsessed with logic and reasoning and things looking accurate. So when your drawings no longer look accurate, it gets discouraging. So, and because woefully, especially here in America, we have so few avenues to nurture that right-minded thinking. What was I saying? Right. But as you can see, my brain works perfectly fine. We have so many. Okay, hold on a second, Club. I'll be right with you. I need to finish my thought, or I'm never going to finish it. But thank you very much. Holy fuck. We have so few ways of nurturing that right-minded thinking that so many people just forget that that mindset exists. It doesn't go away, but you just have to jumpstart it again, and that's kind of what the book is there to do. Primarily, one of the exercises is actually you copying doing your best to copy a drawing in the book first, right side up, and then it'll tell you, okay, now turn the reference drawing upside down and try drawing that. And as it turns out, at least for me, the upside down one came out much better, because the left side of the brain just couldn't make sense of it, so it just switched the fuck off. And then the right side was like, okay, wait, hold on, this line goes here, this line goes there, this goes that way, that goes this way, this and that. I just started looking at it in parts and figuring out where those parts intersected and where they led to. And it overall ended up coming out much better than when I tried to do it right side up. Not me being upside down, rather the reference picture was. If you tried to draw upside down, the blood would go to your head and you would just get dizzy. Okay, anyway, let me just get caught up here. Club a Whale, thank you for, first of all, don't do that. Second of all, thank you for the, tier 1 sub and the 5 gifted subs to Game Jack, Andrew Effect, Hazardine, Lauren DaCosta, and Mr. Devkong. Do appreciate that, and thank you very much. Thank you for making your Dark Souls video. Just watched it. It was amazing. Well, thank you, Club. I really do appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it, more than I probably really should have, but it's still, I'm proud of how it came out, and I'm glad people have been enjoying it. I can write upside down. I probably could, but it would take some getting used to. But yeah, basic gist that I've learned when reading the book so far. I'm only like I want to say 100 pages in, actually not even 100, like 85 pages into it. It's like a 360 page book, so I'm a decent chunk into it. The main thing is just giving you a bunch of different practices like that upside down drawing to kind of like jog the right side of your brain and jumpstart it, because the left side, like I said, is always obsessed with logic and reasoning, and it is trying to make sense of everything you see around you, even if it's ill-equipped to handle it. Like, well, for example, drawing. And one of the very more fascinating things I've learned in the book is the reason why most people can't seem to draw better than a 5-year-old, at least those who haven't been drawing for very long, is because your brain has retained the basic shapes that you drew as a young child, and when you're trying to draw something and you haven't been practicing drawing at all, your brain automatically falls back on those familiar shapes because it's essentially data that the left side of the brain is pulling from in order to accomplish a task, which is what it's meant to do. It's meant to recall language, symbols, and writing and reading and all that stuff. I get here and Seth's doing a TED Talk. This is new. And that's what, and I keep losing my place in what I'm saying. I'm a little bit sleepy. Not because I didn't sleep well, it's just it's a Monday. I'm always sleepy on Mondays. Are you making videos like that for the rest of the Souls games? Most likely, but that's a long way off. I'm gonna be getting a couple of videos done in between now and the inevitable Dark Souls 2 video, for example. Mainly because I gotta figure out how the fuck to tackle Dark Souls 2. Because, well, despite not only the fact that it's the most divisive one of the whole series, it's also the biggest. Like, actually the biggest. It has the most raw content in it out of all 3 games. Between its DLC and its 2 whole-ass different versions of itself, and just the base game in general is like almost, I think like twice the size of Dark Souls 1. So, and the only reason I was able to go so in-depth and felt comfortable going so in-depth and lengthy in Dark Souls 1 is because after all these years, I was that familiar with it. I'm not that familiar with Dark Souls 2 or 3, so the 2 videos on those games may be a bit more surface level in comparison, but I'm still going to try to make them as good as I can. Guess who finished Bloodborne and first tried the Orphan of Kos with the help of one friend? Well, hey, congratulations. I mean, with help or not, one-shotting Orphan of Kos is like, that is hard to do. That boss is a fucking bitch. So congratulations to you. Yeah. So aside from recording footage for the upcoming Subnautica and Below Zero comparison video and planning out future videos, including but not limited to a recap of the or like a retelling of the fuck, what was it? Oh yeah, Hunt Down the Freeman stream I did last year, which was fucking hilarious. And potentially a retrospective on Sonic 06 of all things, because that game is just a treasure trove of memes and stupidity that I have yet to crack open myself. That, and I have like several jokes already in mind that I really want to do. This is kind of what makes me, this is kind of the thought process behind what goes into which game I decide to make a video on. What jokes do I already have in mind for certain scenes, and like what scenes are already playing out in my mind? If they're already present and they're good and I want to do them, very likely that game will become a video in the future. Like I could like a good example is the fuck, what was I gonna... Right, the fucking commercial for Lightning Spear was an idea I had a while ago for the Dark Souls video, and was one of the later ideas I had come up with, but it was one of the ones that kind of made me decide to ultimately go with doing a video on Dark Souls. And thank you, Black Jackal. Is this stream content strategy or just cozy chat stream? Well, as you can see from the title of the stream, Robot talks to you, so it is just a chatty stream. And also up there in the corner, you can see not only the corner pooches, but just chatting. And the category of the stream as well. So, yeah. If you're ever wondering what the point of the stream and whatever I'm doing on a stream, just check the title, check the category, or check, like, any around the screen or whatever. Most likely the answer is in plain sight. Although I say that, but I'm rapidly not sure what to talk about. My energy today was already kind of fucking low because, you know, Monday, and just in general, I have no this is the weird part of my brain, right? And the part that kind of makes me want to tear my brain out of my own head and go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Things have been going great. The channel's been doing well. The videos have been doing well. The Dark Souls video is almost at 1 million views, which is staggering. Streams have been fun lately. And yet, for whatever reason, my brain is just like, I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to, no. And it's the most fucking infuriating shit in the world. Not so much a logic part shutting down, it's more just the brain overall is running on like a quarter, is like running on a quarter of a tank of gas at the moment. Handshake on needing to wring out the brain like a wet towel. I fucking wish. This is part of the reason why, if I could become a robot, I would, as long as, you know, I could retain sentience and all that stuff and my personality. If basically, if at any point I could become a robot but, like, stay me, I'm doing that because, 1, the brain sucks, and 2, the body sucks. Like, right now, my fucking elbow joints hurt for no reason. Not a lot, they just kind of ache. But I'm just like, what is wrong? Literally, I have done nothing today. Why are you hurting? And yeah, I've eaten, I've gotten water, and like I got plenty of sleep. It's just when you get past a certain age, the body becomes frail in the strangest of ways, right? Not in like a, oh, you become so, not in like a, oh, my hip kind of way. Just, you start aching for no reason in some weird places. Usually joints. Even if you've just been sitting on your ass all day, your arm will start hurting for no reason. It's... The human body is just a mishmash of random evolution that happens to work, but is basically held together by duct tape and happy thoughts. While also simultaneously being one of the most complicated things that nature has ever made. And the brain on top of that. The first thing we wake up with a sore neck from sleeping wrong is soul changing. Yep. Yep. I remember the days when I would wake up and I would feel refreshed and ready to take on the day. Feels like 2 decades ago, because it basically was. Just so I could prep my future hospital trips, what age would that be? For me, it was around 30. So yeah, like Lydia said, between like, I would say between like 27 and 32 is like a good range of your body is just gonna start hating you and you won't even know why. You will have done nothing wrong and your body will just decide, today I will want to die. And so you will. And then your brain starts doing that too. This feels like a curse placed on us by the older generations. It kind of fucking does. With my last breath, I curse the millennials. Ah. Yeah, basically, Game Jack. Today, Arm, come on. Today I will. Ow. Was waiting for someone to do that. Thank you. That got it. And sometimes it takes percussive maintenance in real life to get your body to start doing what it should be doing. Like, I think the number of times I've like lightly smacked my head to jog my brain it's probably in the triple digits by now. As if we're not cursed enough. Yeah, we certainly do live in a cursed timeline, don't we? If nobody, would you have stayed booting forever? Nah, I would stop, but like every time I do that, I just wait to see if somebody will pan or back me in the face. Or ducks. That's what the pans are for, to remind Chad. Generally speaking, yes, if I go on a long loading time joke, the pan is meant to be the punchline.
Banished to the nether!
Or you can just put, you could just, okay, I get it. I'm old technology. I go back in the box that I get put in the attic. I'm sorry, okay? I'll go in my corner now. Putas. Why can't I just be like Asteria and be a young vampire forever? Ow. Though that would come with the caveat of, one, being a vampire, so sun and all that, and two, having a vampire lord want to sacrifice you to ascend themselves. I guess spoilers. Whoops, sorry. But I mean that gets revealed in his story fairly early, so it's not that big of a spoiler. But yeah. That was the most depressed Putus I've ever heard. Putus. Oh, god damn. Ugh. Yeah, it's a Monday. It is certainly one of them days. It begins with M and ends in Y. The only day of the week to do that, I think. Yeah, that's right. There's no Mem's Day or Man's Day or whatever. Oh, also, I know there's like, speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I'm trying to think, how do I like tell stories of my Baldur's Gate 3 adventures without spoiling shit? Okay, I'll just go ahead and say, in Act 3, there is a certain ally character you find that you will love. I guarantee you. And I found them recently in an Act 3 replay I did because I didn't find them the first time around. And just about busted a gut laughing. So yeah. For anybody playing Baldur's Gate 3, try and do everything in Act 3. That's all I'm gonna say. Just try and do everything you can in Act 3. And believe me, you're gonna be at it for a while because there's a lot. Like, the amount of content in Act 3 is like, I think it's almost as much as Act 1 and 2 combined. Maybe not that much, but it feels that way. It certainly feels that way. My menus keep breaking. Yeah, that's another thing as well. Another thing you could probably also do is wait for a few hot fixes to go out, because as good as Baldur's Gate 3 is, the further you get through it, the more it kind of starts breaking in some really bizarre ways. What happens if Alan 9 runs out of battery? Well, thankfully, there are many outlets that he could just plug himself into, so he rarely ever does. If he does, then he just goes into sleep mode. Eh. People show me things I missed that they say this is very important to do before the end game. Oh, yeah, there's a fuck ton of stuff I missed in my first time around through Act 1 and 2. Hell, I haven't even done a Act 2 replay. I've only, like... So most of what I've done is I've beaten the game once. I then went back and tried to start a whole new playthrough as a couple of other classes, but, like... BG3 is one of those games that is very rough to start over because it's so fucking huge. It shares some similarities with Elden Ring in that regard, in that starting over at the first, in that you start over, you're like, ooh, I want to try a different class this time, or I want to play through it a different way, and then you start over and you're like, oh right, this took me over 100 hours. At least, by the way, my playthrough took me about 145. Al does not have a tail, no. He just has that, he just has the long coat. I can't even remember my saves because I messed up. I mean, yeah, that happens a lot as well. The funny thing is, my main profile says it has 70 hours on it. It's way more than that because it only counts the amount of time that you're playing that save file. It doesn't count the number of times you save scum or make different save files to try out different paths through the game. It is only the amount of time you played in that particular instance up to that point that you saved. More than likely, the amount of hours I have in that one save, quote unquote, is double that. Oh god. Ugh. So I gotta talk to real people to play D&D. I feel that. I wish I could play more D&D. At this point, I just don't have many groups to play with. Yeah, that's the one downside of BG3. Playing it just kind of made me also want to start playing tabletop games again. Even more than just regular D&D. I want to start playing Pathfinder 2 again. And I say again, I have like one group I'm playing with, but I want to start playing in more games. And just I want to play more Lancer. Because, like, I didn't get to really play my gunslinger robot build last time. What games are you keeping an eye on this year, Seth? No idea, honestly. I never keep up with, like, upcoming releases anymore. I just don't care much. Mainly because, like, I've been so numbed by, like, a stretch of 5 to 7 years just being so... barring like certain exceptions, just being fucking bland, or at least a stretch of 5 years or so. It certainly felt like that anyway, especially between 2020 and now. I mean, for obvious reasons, most game development cycles just kind of stopped in 2020 and then very slowly started getting back on track in the years after that. But yeah. Not tried a Traveler, no. Only been able to do one-shots with randos. Yeah, I want to do another actual campaign myself. It's kind of saddening. Like, one of my friends is a very good DM, but they don't believe that they are, so they don't like DMing because they always think they're doing a bad job when like me and everybody else in the group always loves the campaigns they do, but they're so self-conscious they just keep stopping them. And it's just like, god damn it, dude. Like, you're good at it. You are like the best DM in the whole fucking group. Please believe that. But then again, that's the pot calling the kettle black over here. I'm the who am I to talk about someone else's imposter syndrome? When I'm like the fucking poster child of it. Garver, thank you for the 8-month resub. Do appreciate it. Video ideas for indie games or retro games? Feel like those types of games would result in shorter length could be a consideration. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Long videos are kind of what the algorithm craves, so we'll see. The only real indie game I've had in mind of doing has been Everhood. Not Neverhood, by the way, Everhood. Like, very similar titles, two extremely, but like the names mean the diametric opposite of each other. Just letting you know. But yeah, that's the only one I've really thought of to do. At least so far. You and Ed, both of you. Yeah, poor Ed. What are we doing over here? Just talking. As you could, as it says up there, as it says in the stream title, we're just chatting today. Just because energy is low. Won't be here for that much longer. Just starting the week off with a little talkie stream, just so I don't miss Monday again, and ow. I know Starfield is coming out soon. Again, I remain cautious because I've just kind of been burned on too many, like, open world games recently. The last one that didn't burn me was Elden Ring. But I'm remaining, it looks cool, but I'm gonna wait, right? It's a Bethesda game. I'm at least gonna wait for the inevitable first patch. Where they fix a bunch of game-breaking crashes, because there is always a first patch. I'm at least gonna wait for that. Not gonna touch it until reviews are out from content creators I see play it. Yeah, basically. I'm just gonna wait until they fix the immediate game-breaking bugs, because there are always immediate game-breaking bugs, because that's just modern video game development practice these days. Hey, why make sure that our game is ready for a day one ship when we can just patch it within the first week after we've already made all the money? People will still be playing it. We don't need and like all of this to shave like maybe a month to 2 months of development time. Like, guys, seriously, QA is a thing. And that is a Robo Voice toggle. Which is why I always found it hilarious when Square Enix came out and said that there will be no day one patch for Final Fantasy 16 because, hey, we actually feel confident. Well, hold on a second. I'll get back to this thought in just a moment. Ow. Ow. Thank you, Scouts. But yeah, when Square Enix came out and basically said, yeah, there's not going to be a day one patch for Final Fantasy 16 because we actually feel confident in the game we're shipping day one. And I'm like, why is that a new thing? That used to be standard. You had one shot to make your mark when you came to making games back in the day. That used to be what you had to do first thing. You had to make sure the game was ready and working before you shipped it. Well, they did delay it a bit, but like, hell, even back in the, but like, that's nothing new. Back in the day, let me fucking tell you about delays back in the day, my dude. Like, like delaying a game to make it to make sure it was finished was also common practice. Because again, you had to make sure the fucking thing was working first. In fact, one very good example of not doing that and completely screwing a game's sales is Sin, which was basically a follow-up to a lot of boomer shooters back in the day. It was kind of like a bridge between like the Quake era and the more what was it called? The more modern shooter era. It's a good game by all accounts. But when it first released, about 50% of the game was bugged beyond repair. And they had to release a patch. And keep in mind, this was back in the early 2000s. Like, I think this was back in like 2000 or something like that. And it was like a 500 megabyte patch or something like that. And again, keep in mind, this is back when internet was slow as fuck and not readily available in every single house in the world. So barely anyone got this patch. So for the vast majority of people who played Sin when it was first released, played a broken, almost uncompletable game because they didn't fix it and make sure it was ready to go because they were so eager to beat Half-Life to market. In fact, actually, hang on. When did Half-Life come out? Because then I know for sure when Sin came out. That was like 1998. Knew it. Okay, so 1998. So... yeah, so this released in 1998. This is when, like I said, internet wasn't readily available for everybody, or decent internet at the very least. So because they were so eager to beat Half-Life to market, they completely ignored the bug fixing portion of the dev time, and that completely screwed the game sales wise. Shoutouts to Final Fantasy XIV having to restart development because version 1.0 was so broken. Yeah, basically. I know it would just be like for them to talk about a game and then silence for years. Yeah. And yeah, Squaresoft did originally pour everything they had into Final Fantasy 1. Like, again, because that was standard practice. Make sure the game works before you ship it. And these days, because internet is everywhere, day one patches and extremely unoptimized games is just the standard. And I hate it. It shouldn't be the thing. It shouldn't be a thing. That should never have become the standard, and it has completely fucked everyone's expectations when it comes to games for decades to come now. Basically, people have been conditioned to expect less day one than they really realistically should. I mean, early access is a different beast entirely. It has its pros and cons. On one hand, it can be a great way to gauge general interest beforehand and get some extra funding to help development, and like funding and feedback to help development of a game along. I mean, that's how Subnautica got finished. On the other hand, it can also trap several games in development hell, and some games just don't get out of early access. My Summer Car has been in early access for 7 fucking years. So yeah, it's got its pros and cons, but overall, I'd say it's generally a net good. It just also is misused. 7 days for how long? 7 days is a different beast. Like, that one has basically been confirmed by the devs to never be finished. It is basically a passion project for them at this point. And they are going to keep working on it, and it will always be updated and changed. So, it says it's an early access, but essentially it's just its own thing entirely. From suffering from failure to suffering from success. I mean, yeah, 14 had like one fuck of a redemption arc. And that's what happens when you make sure your game fucking works, you know? I still fucking love the fact that Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 had servers lagging, people crashing, and people's computers unable to play the game at a stable frame rate because of the polygons in a fucking potted plant. A singular model of a potted plant had so many polygons, it was crashing the game in 1.0. And no, I'm not kidding. This is a cardboard cow situation. It sounds stupid, but it's true. What'd the rant start off as? I forgot. Also, hello, Star Saber. We'll probably not be here for much longer. It's just kind of a sleepy Monday stream, and just kind of give it just something to start us off. Something simple to start the week off. Garland, Exdeath, Kefka, Sephiroth, all peons and puny mortals compared to the great evil power that is potted plant. I mean, kinda, yeah. Ugh. I think what started us on this rant is us talking about like oh yeah, it was talking about Starfield and how I'm gonna wait until when that game comes out. I'm gonna wait until the inevitable first wave of patches hit, because it's going to be broken day one. Every single major release, barring a few exceptions, is always broken day one. To some degree or another. So I'm just gonna wait until the inevitable first few patches come out, and then I'll probably check it out. Did you play League of Legends or games like that? For a while I did play League. I haven't in a very long time though. The competitive side of me has dulled over the years. The most competitive I get these days is in TF2. And even then, I mean, I usually just run around as a demo knight and cut people's heads off and just have stupid fun with it. I stopped being a very competitive person a couple of years ago. I kind of mellowed and chilled the fuck out. And League is one of those games where realistically you're better playing it with friends. Because playing it with randoms is always a crapshoot of whether or not you'll have a decent game, or somebody in the game will rage quit and because they missed like one kill, or more accurately, somebody else in the game was killed once and they just rage quit and decide to sit in the fountain for the rest of the game, and then yeah. Dude, solo queue is a nightmare. I'm not sure how the release of Armored Core 6 has gone. I haven't heard anything bad. Like, it seems to be working fine. But I haven't played it yet, so I couldn't tell you. But, like, I haven't heard anything major. People seem to be having fun with it. Although, apparently, a lot of people are, of course, getting frustrated with it. But, I think it's mainly because it's so different from, like, what FromSoft is known for, has been known for the past, like, decade or so. And the way you anyway, well, like, from what I have gathered anyway, the way you approach it is you make builds that that essentially counter the scenario that you're going into. And you don't try and, like, brute force your way through with whatever you want. Or, I mean, you can, but the best way to do it is to find what weapon or combination of weapons counter whatever this particular enemy is doing to you the best. Kind of like, it's like mech rock paper scissors, only a lot more complicated than that, but that's just the gist that, like, some random person I saw mention. Again, I have to emphasize, I haven't played it myself, so I don't know. That's just the impression I've gotten of it going forward. I'll know for much more certain when I eventually play it myself. And apparently lock-on is a new thing for the series, so I don't know. It just seems like a thing that you should have in a mech game, but opinion on spears? I mean, spears are pretty okay. I mean, yeah. Don't really have an opinion on him, honestly. Pardon me. Haven't visited your stream in a while. Really nice model layout. Well, thank you, Siberius. Hope you're doing Siberius. Pardon me. Thank you very much, and I hope you're doing well. We won't be, in fact, we may be ending here in the next couple of minutes because my throat is all scratchy and sore today, and I am not very focused. It is a Monday. I tried Remnant 2, Zergling. That should tell you how my thoughts on it went. I tried. Like, it looks really cool. I like the aesthetic of it. But there's just something about it that just fails to grab me. Maybe I'll try again. I'll try a different class. I tried, like, the sharpshooter one. Maybe I'll try the tank this time. I'm not sure. But, yeah. It was this and the last. It's Remnant 2 and the first Remnant. Just have, like, so far anyway, have failed to grab me. And I can't really place why. Just, they haven't. What are we playing tomorrow then? Not sure. We shall see. Might be XCOM. Might be Dead Cells. Bleh. I don't know. I kind of had a thing going where, like, for a little while, where Tuesday was like Twitch integration day, where whatever I was playing would have some form of Twitch integration, but I kind of stopped. So maybe I'll look back into doing that again. We shall see. I don't think I play Paradox games, no. House Flipper's still on break then. I may go back to House Flipper, honestly. I think I have successfully recovered from the Quinceañera Nightmare House, so I think we're okay. I think I'm okay to continue. I think. Pardon me. But that is a question. That is a decision to make tomorrow. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Thank you all very much for joining me. I'm gonna drop y'all off on Ed before I go. So, go say hello to him. Y'all have a good night. I shall see you all tomorrow. Hopefully we'll all be a bit more active. Love you all. Thank you all for showing. Thank you, Club, for the subs and gifted subs. Y'all have a good night. See you later.